And if I lived there, I would be ticked. I'm lucky I live up on Chapel though. Anyway, that's my concern on that matter. I'm also going to touch on the truck buying issue because I, for one, think that you should have some sort of schedule to replace vehicles, not buy 2 at a time. They should be on a rotating basis. I don't buy 2 cars at the same time because I don't need 2 lemons at the same time. You may think that they're great trucks and you want them both at the same time, but I think it's just fiscally responsible to do this as a rotating basis. Let's see here. I have all kind of notes here, so you got to deal with me. Master plan. We need to have a master plan. Do you all have a master plan? And is there a committee in place that could at least get some of the committee, part of that committee being the citizens of our community, to get their input on a master plan? Okay. And I'm going to touch on the audit committee. Is the audit committee in place? Alrighty then.
The silence means yes or no. I wish I knew.
Okay.
If I can interrupt, do you want to answer the question? She has a question to the board. Why don't we have a resolution to the question? It's simple yes or no.
The audit committee is
Tony, 1, 2.
Board,
And Bill.
and Jackie and the chief, or would be Tony, Jackie, or Tony and the chief now. That's the audit committee.
Okay, you don't have anybody on the outside as a bank?
That's how it was set up, I think, at the first of the year in the auditor.
Okay.
It's a budget committee.
Have they met? Has the audit committee met?
We meet at the beginning of the year as a budget committee.
And you don't meet any time during the year to?
No.
Okay. Personally, this is just my take on this. After seeing what we have seen in the past couple years from the audit, definitely need a true audit committee. You should be going over your books at least every 3 to 4 months to make sure that they are true to form and they are going on the way they need to be done. So there are no problems like there were in the past. I know you're on this, Tony, right? All right, Chief, one time I talked to you and we talked about a 5-year plan. You said you had a 5-year plan, but you didn't have it down on paper. Did you ever take those thoughts that you had and put them into an actual factual plan?
Be very honest with you, is it something I can give to you right now? No. It's still something that previous boards and we're working with this board to kind of bring that back into where we want it to be. And manning is a big issue, probably #1 on that.
Yeah, because I think it would be good to get that down on paper so that you actually have a goal. I know that you have a resolution and you have your priorities set, but it'd be nice to have a 5-year plan so that you know that you've met your goals within that 5-year time frame. Not just you, but for the whole board. Just something that you can utilize to make sure you stay on task and stay on track here. Mr. Brodsman, we talked about Ohio CAF.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I agree with Mike. I think that, and Chief, I think that maybe there was a little misunderstanding, leases versus purchase. I don't think Mike was going with the lease. It was actual purchase, but you're taking that purchase and you're financing it out a few years. I think that's a great plan. Again, not a lease, but an actual, you will own the vehicle at that end of that time frame. Ohio CAF, I did a little look at what the township did with Ohio CAF, and I'm a little concerned about them. Maybe it's something you ought to look at the local rates and local banks also before you commit to an Ohio CAF program. I think you'd be wise to look at the rates. The rates may be cheaper, the points may be cheaper, there may not be any payback fees or whatever. You just might want to take a look at that before you commit to an Ohio CAF program. The other part of that pretty much is the property. Realistically, I think that you're right, that there do need to be, new buildings are necessary. These guys deserve the best. They should be paid more, I'll guarantee that too. But the property that you have is where, at 528 and 307?
Right.
Is that really the feasible property? Is that your hub? Is that your expansion? Has things expanded that much that this would be a good place?
What that would do is draw the need for two stations. We could adequately serve the village and the south.
Okay.
Station.
So you take one out of the village and just put it there. How does the village feel about that? Have you spoken with them? Oh, okay. How does the village feel?
Complained about it, but who knows?
I'll give you a little insight. We had a building committee meeting last Thursday, Chief?
Yes.
We met with Greg Henry, Justin Meister, going over a bunch of plans. Truthfully, neither one of our stations are perfect. And even when we got land's not perfect. Station 2, that's a station you're probably going to see there the longest because, yeah, it's down north. Like the chief said, you got to go out around the circle to get to everything.
Right.
You don't get on one road, go north, you don't go south. Station 1 is in the middle of the village. It's served the south still. But the question there is, if you move it 3/4 miles south, you're coming always back through town. And that's we talked to the full-time and part-timers, had a question about that. Do you add on to Station 1? We're going to meet with Ms. Brian Black, right, Chief? An architect?
Yes.
Give us some input. He not back, we're going to get a hold of him. He's going to meet this afternoon. And Greg Henry was off today too. But we're going to meet with the full-time, part-time, Mr. Black. He done the engineering work for, or the architect work for Station 2, and we done the work for him. Station 2 would probably, like I said, be the easiest one to add on to, and I hate spilling the guts before the meeting, but I'll do it. We're thinking, you know, the equipment. We don't have room in the stations to man 4 people comfortably the right way right now. So if we do, simple thing like we came up with was the weight equipment. If you put a portable trailer down at Station 2, that's just for the weight equipment with a heater and air conditioner, the whole bit, bring that stuff out, add to Station 2 to make more room to, you know, house them in, change the thing around. Station 1, we went in there and measured. We can fit 3 men into one room. 4th are going to be sleeping somewhere else. It's not the healthiest, not the best in the world. You know, and that's what we're going to meet and come up with a plan. My feeling is if you build a new Station 1, move it south, build it behind Station 1. Leave it right there. The village has land we need to dump. You know, we're not doing nothing with it, or build a satellite station a little farther south. That's what I think we came up to. We need 2 to 3 good stations plus 2 to 3 satellite stations in the district. Okay, but we need the manpower to man them first. So we need at least 2 good stations to man them in to get it started. So I think that's what the building committee is going to be working on. Bill was busy Thursday, they call in, but the next meeting, you know, that's our goal.
Yeah, I hate to, oh, sorry.
I just going to ask about the Burns Road property.
Yeah, Burns Road, that would be, you know, but what
That would be an ideal.
Chairman, let me
Okay.
ask this myself. I came up with this idea, I've been saying it for years, what we should do on 307. Nobody's ever really said yes or